Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to take you through starting Star Citizen. Basically, this is a very basic guide to get you to your ship. We have so many people that come into the game. I mean, literally hundreds who, like, especially when we have these open events like what's going on right now, they are, the first question, where is my ship? So I'm going to try to help you guys get to that location. I'm loading into the menu to kind of help you through this part too. When you first come into the game, you're going to see this nice screen, and there you go. There's Brad M. Shh. Anyway, he's a great guy. And we have this intro screen here, and it's kind of this is where you're going to pick what you want to play. Now, if you want to play the kind of what we consider the main game, you're going to pick Persistent Universe. So let's go ahead and do that. And then you're going to have to pick where you start. Okay, so there's a couple things to know, and I'm going to go through these with you right now before we get into the game. And I know it's kind of like, I want to play, but this is important. Okay, there's 4 places where you can start. You can start in Lorville. You can start on New Babbage, or in New Babbage. These are all cities. You can start in Crusader, or on Crusader, because Crusader is a floating city, so we'd say on. Or you can start, last but not least, you can start in AirCorp, or AirCorp, however, I think it's pronounced AirCorp. And that is Area 18 is the location for that starting location. I recommend that you start either on Lorville, or because Lorville has a ship dealer. So if you come in the game and you have bought some ships, or you need to buy some ships, you got money and you want to buy some ships, Lorville's a good starting place, because you have right away, if you want to go rent a ship or buy a ship, you can buy a ship from the dealer. Lorville also has the shortest train ride to the space station. So it's kind of a convenience thing. And then last but not least, Area 18 also. I mean, some of them, they have dealerships. I think New Babbage also has a ship dealer. So you have some options, but really I found that Lorville's the easiest to start from. AirCorp, or Area 18 is the next easiest place. Do not pick Crusader for your starting point. Every time you leave Crusader, because it's a gas giant, it takes it's actually it seems like half an hour. It takes about 10 minutes to leave the atmosphere. So with those in mind, I've picked my primary residence as Lorville, but we are on New Babbage. So I'm going to show you how to get to the airport from New Babbage, because that's how you're going to start. So after you've created your character, you're going to get where you blend the faces together and make your character, and you can do that. That's pretty easy to do. We're going to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and click Enter the Universe. You can have anywhere from 1 minute, 20 seconds, 10 minutes. So the screen is really random on how long it takes to load, but it can take a long time. Okay, so now that we're through the loading screen, we're going to wake up in our hab. You will wake up in basically a hotel room on the planet where you started. This is the nice hotel room on Crusader. And you can see, not Crusader, my goodness, Microtech. We are in New Babbage. You can see out the window, there's the city of New Babbage. And actually, you can visit all those places. It's really cold. Be careful. Anyway, long story short, to get out of the bed, you hold down the Y key. Some people just quit after they get into the game and can't get out of the bed, because once again, there's a bit of a learning curve that you're going to be having to remember a lot of keys and a lot of key presses. Second basic thing, you're going to hold down the F key to focus in on things. Okay, so the F key helps you. See, the mouse pointer appears, and if I get close with the F key, I can open this drawer, and I can open this drawer, and then I can pick it again and close it, and close this drawer. And that's how we operate a lot of the items in the game. There's buttons on doors, ladders that have to be opened from your spaceship. It's how you get into your seat in the spaceship. And once again, just like the bed, to get out of your seat in the spaceship, you hold down the Y key. But we're getting ahead of things now. So let's go ahead and move about the hab. So once again, this is the hotel room that we were launched in, born in, whatever. There's nothing really in here much for you to do, but this could be an opportunity for you to maybe change clothes. If you bought a kit or pack that has armor, you can put that on. And here, we're going to look in here, and I have some armor to put on. Now, I am at the 2952 IAE, and I have brought some of my stuff with me. And for whatever reason, it's not loaded properly. There we go. It's starting to load in. Weird texture issues too. The server's having some bugs today. I think it's probably really busy because it's the weekend and there's a lot of people here for IAE. But that's something you're going to have to get used to is bugs. So I've got my day suit on, but we're going to go into space. So I'm going to get changed. And you just click and slide your stuff into the inventory. Sometimes it gets sticky. There's a certain order you have to put things on. Pants go on first, or suit. So you put on your undersuit first. Then I can put on a helmet. And I'm doing this by double clicking. I can put on armor. I can put on this armor. I can also put this on. There you go. You can see we have all of our armor on. You can also wear a backpack. I don't have any backpacks here. And then I'm just going to, I've got where's my arc light pistol? My pistol's missing. That's interesting. I'm missing a gun. I've got a revolver, or I guess it's kind of like a 9mm. We'll carry that. We're not going to use it on the planet. You don't have to shoot anybody, but that's how you get your inventory. Once again, that's I. You press the I key. Now, if I want to put something in my suit, it's going to be over on this side, and I can just, let's say I want to take this shirt with me into outer space. I can. Oh, it's too big. I can't put it in here. Maybe my hat. Will my hat fit in there? Yeah, my hat fits in there. So I can squish my hat and put it into my spacesuit. If you have a backpack, you have a lot more room. You can fit a lot more things in there. But I don't have a backpack on, so that's the suit. So the next step is going to be to leave here. Now that we're dressed and ready for outer space, I'm going to go ahead. And honestly, you can get dressed anywhere. You can just stand in the middle of a corridor and get dressed. You can stand in the spaceport and get dressed. So we're going to leave the hotel room. You can see this is a really nice one. If you go to Lorville or ArCorp, it's kind of scuzzy. But it's also, once again, a much shorter distance to the airport. Now here in ArCorp, you can see over there, that's the airport. Not ArCorp. Here on New Babbage, we have a long distance. We have to ride a tube train all the way out over there. So we got to go down to the train station, get on the train, and ride it. You're saying, what the heck? Like, already this game is very complicated. And that is what Chris Roberts wanted for this game. He wanted it to be like real life. Like, you don't just get into the game and you're in your ship, or you get into the game and you're in the hangar with your ship. You are in a hotel and you have to go to your ship. Now, the one nice thing about the game so far is you don't have to go back to the hotel to go to sleep. You can just land on a planet, leave the ship, put the ship away, and just go to bed right there. You'll notice in the bottom left-hand corner, I have some health stats. You do have to eat and drink in this game, or at least visit a hospital bed. There's another player. You'll notice most players just run around in circles, or run everywhere. So there are restaurants in different space stations and on different planets that will allow you to get food. As you can see here, this lady's waiting for somebody, and she's got a drink right there in her hands. That yellow slushie that she bought will give her both food and liquid health. So it fills up both of your needs, if you will. Some liquids only fill up the liquid need, and some foods only fill up the food need. I don't know if there's any food that does both, but I think there are. In caverns and stuff, you can find crates with food in them. So here we are in the Metro Loop underneath the hotel, and we have a tram that goes to the spaceport, and we also have a tram that goes to the Commons. The Commons is the shopping area on this planet. On New Babbage, there's several things that you can buy. You can buy food. You can buy clothing. I don't think there's a lot of suits of armor. I haven't found the store yet that has suits of armor, but there might be a Tammany & Sons that has armor. There is, I believe, a gun store here on the planet. There's also a weapons store for your ship. So there's somebody going to IAE right now. He's running around. You can see the signs for IAE, which is the international event. These people are going to the spaceport, and that is where we are going to be heading also. You can see here the signs. Just like real life, we have signs that show us where we're going. This says New Babbage Interstellar Spaceport. Same thing for all the other planets that you start on. You have to basically leave the hotel, find the tram. On Crusader, it's a like little airplane trams that fly around, and you like a space taxi or a space bus, and you get on those, and they take you to the airport. But on most of the planets, it's just a train system like this. So let's go ahead and get on. Train departs in 11 seconds. And we're going to go for a little ride. And those other people are getting on. They're getting ready to leave. Oh, that guy missed the train. Did you see that? Now, you have to be careful here. In New Babbage, there are places where you can actually get outside, or if you fly your ship off, you can then like go to the outside world and walk around. Different armor that you wear can give you different stats as far as your ability to resist cold and resist heat. So you'll need to find I don't think my armor does very well against either, so I wouldn't get out on this planet for very long because you will die. Your health will go down and eventually you will pass away. So gotta watch those stats and make sure that you're not freezing to death or burning to death. And like I said, there are different suits of armor and undersuits that provide you better protection against cold and heat. You have to check the stats on them, and they're available all over the universe. You have to go to different space stations, and it's not like going to Walmart at every place, okay? Each place has a different store and has different things in stock. So you're going to have to, find the different places. There's a good resource online. Oh, man, Urkel is the guy that puts it together. And it's called DPS Calculator. If you look up Star Citizen and look up DPS Calculator, and I'll try to remember to put a link in the description. They have pretty much on that website. They tell you where everything is in Stanton, so that you can figure out like throughout the whole system, like which space stations have what guns, what space stations have what armor. Obviously, there's different armors that you can find out in loot boxes and stuff that you can't buy in the store. Same thing with weapons. There's certain weapons that you can only get by finding them in loot crates. Not loot crates, but in loot boxes. You don't have to pay for them. There we go. And so now we're going to go on up to the NBIS terminal, the New Babbage International Space Station Terminal. And once again, I'm pressing F to focus and then clicking on the buttons. That's how we're doing and controlling all of this. So, welcome to the spaceport. And like a real spaceport, we have to go through security. Right now, these don't do anything. Later on in the game, you'll probably have to go through this. And you may not be allowed through with weapons. You might have to leave your weapons on your ship. We'll see. But right now, you can bring anything through here that you want. You just can't draw weapons in the airport. But Customs doesn't do anything yet. And there's IAE. So, we are up. Now, this server must have just restarted. When you see a bunch of people standing around here like this, they haven't gone where they belong yet. But you can see here, and this is where it gets confusing, this airport's huge. There's really nothing on commercial flights yet. Eventually, new players will be able to ride like commercial airlines around the system. And once again, we are only having one system right now. Soon there's another one coming out. And eventually they're planning 100 systems. But as of right now, this is the only system that we have. So we have 4 spaceports and a bunch of space stations. And these people are running around. And they are going to the terminals where we get our ship. So we're going to walk up to one of these terminals. It's really busy here because of the convention. So you walk up to the terminal and you focus and press the touch to start.
Vehicle retrieval system.
And this is going to give you a list of your vehicles. Now, you may come in here and find that you have extra ships that you didn't buy. One of the things they do right now for Arena Commander, if you buy a ship that's like a cargo ship and it doesn't do any fighting, they will give you a fighter to try out. When the actual game starts, when we get out of alpha and out of beta probably, and we're in the real game, they will not be giving you free ships. But right now, you might see like an Anvil Arrow or maybe an Aurora MR that you didn't buy, and you're like, what the heck, I didn't buy this. Well, this is where we see all the ships that we have access to, and that includes freebies. But don't expect them to stay forever. The only ships that are going to stay forever are the ships that you've purchased yourself. Now, I have a lot of ships because when they screwed up at the beginning of this patch, they gave us a bunch of money, and I bought a bunch of ships, and then they said, oops, we gave you so much money. They took the money away, but I got to keep the ships. So that's why I have so many. But I'm going to show you the system here. We have different ships here, and they give you pretty much all the information that you need to know. So let's take a look, for example, at this Crusader Ares Starfighter, okay? And the Starfighter of mine is stored on a space station called HRU L1 Green Glade Station. I know where that is personally. When you start on a planet, all the ships that you own will be on that planet with you. So no matter which one you choose, you'll find that they are actually local. You're not going to have to claim them or wait for them. But let's say I start in the game and I have my ship parked on Lorville. And my friend takes me for a ride on his ship and drops me off on a moon somewhere or at another, let's say, well, for example, here in New Babbage, and I need my ship back. Well, what I'm going to do, let's say he gets logged off or it's the next day and you're playing again and he can't give you a ride. You can always ask somebody for a ride, but really it's much easier if you just come here and, you know, if no one's available, you can just claim your ship. And this will tell you that it's going to take 10 minutes to claim your ship, and it's going to bring it back here to this space station where you are. So in 10 minutes, your ship is going to arrive, and you click File a Claim, and that's going to start the ship coming this way. Now, if you want to spend money, you can spend $5,000 and get the time down to 3 minutes instead of 9 minutes. Now, the bigger the ship gets, the more expensive it gets, and the longer the time is. So I'm going to give you a little piece of advice. When you start this game and you make a little bit of money, I would buy maybe a Nomad or a Mustang or a Reliant Core or one of these Aurora MRs. And the reason I say that is because these ships all have, up to the Nomad, they all have a 40-second claim. So you only have to wait 40 seconds to get your ship back. And so that's a nice thing about those having a little ship in your inventory is not a bad thing. If you take your big ship out and you crash somewhere or you get killed or you have to leave it somewhere for some reason and you need to go back and get it, you can always grab that little ship in just 40 seconds without paying any money, and you'll have the ship right back, and then you can go ahead and take it with you. So it's a good thing to have. The second thing then is, you know, we have the claim. Now, this shows us the status of the ship. And like I said, it shows us where it is. So here, now again, we're going to look at the Crusader. Now we're just awaiting delivery. It's going to end up in New Babbage, and it's 8 minutes away. It's a heavy fighter. It tells you the type of ship that it is. And last but not least, there's the speed up, how many crew members it takes, and we can track it. But I came here in a ship. I came here in my 600. So let's say we're on. This is what you're going to see. This is what you're going to see when you are on your home planet. You'll see this retrieve button. Instead of a claim button, you'll have a retrieve button. And we're going to retrieve this ship, which is the 600i. And it takes a minute or two for it to be delivered. Sometimes it takes a really long time. Usually it's a couple seconds. But you can see here it's taking a long time. And why is that? Because the server's busy. So we're waiting while it gets delivered.
Delivered to the following location.
And our ship has been delivered to Hangar 15. Now you'll notice there's a tick now on our view, and it says Hangar 15, Origin 600i. That's showing us where it is. Pretty easy to get to, though. We just come over to these elevators. Once again, there'll be elevators near the terminal somewhere. Wherever you are, there'll be some elevators nearby that you'll take to get it. And there's Hangar 13. Let's go ahead and see the ship. Oh, Hangar 15. Wrong one. And yeah, you can go to the wrong hangar. So we're going to stop at 13 first and then continue on to 15. Let's see if somebody's ship is in here. No. Okay, on to hangar 15. Sometimes you get in. You can't take their ship, though. Usually it's locked unless they've left it open. And here is our ship. So we're arriving in the elevator. And voila. There's our big old ship. So we're going to go ahead into the ship, and I'm going to show you how to get in the seat. And then in the next tutorial, I'll teach you how to fly. This is there's a lot to flying. It's not super difficult, but there's a lot of steps that you're going to need. Or not a lot, but there's several steps that you need to do it. And I don't want to cover that in this video because I don't want to give you too much information. But this is enough to absorb how to get to your ship and then how to get into the ship and get it started. So, yeah. So that is our origin, and it's a huge hangar here. The thing is already open. I don't know. It's closing now. Weird. Somebody must have just left. I'm going to call this. And now, you'll notice on ships, when you look at it, if you want to figure out how to get inside your ship, you're going to get out and go, well, how do I get in here? There's these little points. See this? And if you go near the point and move the mouse around, you can see that open door thing appears. I'm focusing with the F key, and I do this. So ships show you where you can enter them. I don't know if a lot of people don't even know. It's like I watch a lot of bigger YouTubers, and some of them just don't even know that that's what that is. But those dots tell you where openable things. Sometimes on a ship you'll have a little hatch that is just for cargo. And when you click that, let's just say like this thing, for example, this doesn't work on this one, but you click this and a little hatch will come down and you can put your cargo in there. But that's what these circles are for. They tell you on the outside of the ship how to get in. So let's go in, and we're going to go to the top deck, which is where our bridge is. And once again, this is a big ship, so it's a little different than your little fighter is going to be. You might just open a ladder and climb into your ship, or you might get in and there's like a little hallway and then you just get right into the cockpit. It just depends on the ship. They're all different. So here's the bridge on this ship, and to get into the driver's seat, I'm going to press the F key and look at it. Like if it's a ship where you have a seat that's facing this way, sometimes you have to do this to get into it, but on this ship you go around to the side. So I'm going to press F and it'll turn blue and give you the instructions to get in it. For some reason there we go. Enter seat there. And this one's enter seat here. And that's the main captain's seat, so I'm going to enter it. And I don't have my hat on, so hang on. I got to get I've got a tracker, so hold on. Get my hat back on and track. There we go. So now I can. All right. So now the thing that you're going to do to turn your ship on, once you sat down, the ship's going to be turned off. You're going to press the U key, and that turns the ship on. And that takes us as far as we're going to go in this tutorial. If you want to get up out of the seat and explore your ship, or maybe you forgot something, you hold down the Y key and you'll get back out of the seat. Easiest way to exit. You can also look around and hold the focus key and exit that way, but that's it. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Hopefully this helps you figure out some of the tons of information that there is about this game and not feel quite so lost as you're wanting to get around the verse and try your ship out. So anyway, we will see you in the next exciting episode where I show you how to fly your ship. Have a great night. Be sure to subscribe. Thumbs up always help, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye.